go. We can go back and watch this another time if you've missed anything. So again, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that is here. I know that the way that this all rolled out was really fast and unexpected and probably took some of you guys from surprise. My name is Trina Cairns. I am Gabrielle Dean's one of her best friends, and she's coming to Canada because she promised me that she would. and that she's going to come here to help us really fire up Canada, really take the START tour. But all that being said, with being START, I just want to make one thing super clear. This is not just for people 18 to 35 years old, okay? We are doing a cross-Canada tour for everyone. And I know that might sound a little funny because it is a Start Your Life tour, but Start Your Life is pretty much just a vision. It's a way to excite people. It's a way to cast that vision for people. And whether you are in that 18 to 35 bracket, that's not what we're getting hung up on, okay? So this is for everyone that wants to change their life, that wants to grab hold of this vision of what we're going to cast for Canada. And we're really bringing a fresh look on Isagenix to Canada. That's what this whole thing is about. We really want to reach out to people in a way that gets them excited at the same time as educating them, but firing them up. So these events are going to be fiery. I'm going to warn you about that right now. So the people that we are choosing for these events to speak, the leaders that we are looking to go for, are really hitting on three main topics. Before I get into all of that information, I just want to say thank you again for stepping up for your city. I believe that this tour is going to be something that's going to be talked about, and it's going to be in the history of Isagenix, of changing the face of what Isagenix looks like for Canada. And I'm not putting that on myself. This is something like, I'm just a person that's helping organize other people, okay? But this is not just, this does not have anything to do with me. I'm just new at this. I've been in Isagenix for about 7 months, but I have been living with Gabrielle Dean, who has got so many people fired up about this. And I know that you guys have probably heard her speak at Celebration. So what we're doing is Gabby's coming. We're going to do this road tour. We're starting in Powell River on the 11th, and we're going to kick off the tour here. So we've got some really, really exciting guests that are going to be speaking here in Powell River. And what we discussed today is that we are actually going to have a Facebook social media page that we're going to start posting live videos and doing interviews with the leaders that are going to be speaking at these events across Canada before the events actually start taking place. Then we're going to do a live stream from the starting of the tour so that everyone can get a really good grasp about what we're going for all of these events across Canada. And we're going to end in Fort Mac. So the 11th of June is going to be Powell River. The 12th is going to be Vancouver. So Craig is on the call here. He's going to be leading up the Vancouver group. We've got Jen Newman and Kimberly Hopper are doing the event in Kelowna. We've got Taylor Slack, which is going to be doing the event in Calgary. I missed one stopover, which is Vanessa. And I and the team that are pulling up in Banff are going to be doing a street kind of event. We don't necessarily know all that entails yet because I have to talk to Banff National Park and make sure we have a permit to actually be handing out stuff, that we're not attracting the bears or anything. But we're going to be doing a street event on the streets of Banff. It's going to be right outside the trailer. We're going to be passing out everything, getting people fired up. And those who are in the surrounding areas, like Taylor Slack and her team, are coming down from Calgary to join us. And we're just going to go out on the streets and talk to people and get people fired up. It's going to be a major social media thing that we can be able to use for our Instagram feeds, our live feeds. Is all going to be tied into our social media page. So then from there, we're going to Calgary, and Taylor Slack is going to be doing a Super Saturday in Calgary. She isn't on the call tonight, but we are planning to do hopefully a Super Saturday / event in the evening as well. So anytime that this falls on a Saturday for this tour, we really want to do a training for the Super Saturday, but we also want to have an event in the evening to be able to have those people that have never, we don't want people that is their first exposure to sit 4 hours, through a training necessarily. Okay. So we're going to have a quick wham bam, thank you ma'am kind of event in the evening. 7 till 9 is going to be about pretty much the event times of every single event across the board, except for the one in Powell River. And because of that time, it's going to be 6 till 8. only because of the fact that we have a ferry that people need to get back home, and that was the last sailing. So that's the only exception pretty much for time zones there. So then from there, we're going to go to Medicine Hat. That's going to be the next date after Calgary. Sorry, let me just get my event planner out here. Medicine Hat will be on the 16th, and then Edmonton will be on the 17th, and 18th will be Toronto. Then there's going to be a little bit of a lull. Halifax is going to be on the 19th for anybody that's on the East Coast call. So Logan, that's going to be you guys. And then we're going to have the 20th and 21st to prepare for the Fort Mac. And that's going to be a Super Saturday / road tour ending there on the 22nd of June. Now, so for you guys, just to catch you up on everything that's going on and to kind of fill you in from the surprises and everything that's coming down the pike. So I couldn't really talk about this openly until, I had a meeting with corporate the other day. So what happened is there was a little bit of information that got out, which was fine because it actually created like a viral of excitement all across social media. And headquarters got inundated with phone calls saying, where can we get our tickets? So some people have maybe thought, how are we going to get people to these events? I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think that the issue will be, how are we going to find seats for everybody? Because when this went out, everyone was asking what was going on and how can we get involved. So headquarters has offered their full support. Kimberly and I have been working on, I just want to introduce Kimmy, you guys. She's been helping me with all of the tech support. Kimberly Hopper, she's up in the corner there. Well, on my screen. She's been helping with all the tech support, some logistics stuff about getting the Eventbrite stuff going. And I just want to go over some brief things that are really important. So first of all, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information, but I have to be really careful that this sort of stays here for right now for you guys as leaders, is that when I talked to Alexis and Sarah about the event and about what we want to do, they said that the tickets for Nashville are running out at a rapid pace because that competition went viral. So they had 3,000 events registered across Canada as soon as that information dropped. Now that is ×2 for the tickets to Nashville. That's a lot of tickets. So what they have done for us is they're saying, we want to be able to still do the promotion for the 5 free enrollments and giving that $50 coupon voucher. If anybody doesn't know anything about that yet, I can update you guys. I can give you guys the flyer in the email that I've got that I'll be sending out after this, which is your full press package. What that coupon entitles is you get 5 free enrollments and you get one free $50 coupon that is for you and the person that is the event that you've been booked out from. Okay. So if that is a little bit hazy, don't worry, I'll send the information to you. So what we are doing is we're leveraging the promotion that we have for the Start Tour as one of the things that are going to be on our tickets. So every single ticket for Eventbrite is going to say, thank you so much for coming to the event or something like that. Here is a free gift. If you register your next event, you get 5 free enrollments and this ticket, which I think regardless if the Nashville tickets are attached to that, that is still amazing. Like that's amazing. And absolutely. I think we really need to be like show gratitude to head office for that because they are helping us build our teams and they're giving us incentives to give away to our teams. That is incredible. So what I think we'll do, and I want to put you guys at ease because we had until Sunday to register all of our events. I'm just going to pull the chat open so I can, yeah, absolutely. Okay. So what I want to put your mind at ease is that Kim has gone ahead and registered every single event under your name and under the host's name so that you guys will still get your tickets for Nashville, okay? Because there was a shortage, I had the go ahead from head office to get that done now, so everyone will still be involved in that full promotion as opposed to just having the $50 coupon. So you guys are looked after for that. Every single one is already registered in Eventbrite under your names. So that will, all the money and everything will be entitled to whoever is renting the room. That's going to be all going under there. I want to relieve a little bit of stress as far as the locations go. So when you're booking your event, obviously we need to keep it in mind that we're not booking out at like the Hilton with like a crazy expense, right? Because that means that you're going to have to incur that expense yourself. So you want to find something, obviously, that, you know, goes along with the Isagenix brand. We don't want to be in a junky motel somewhere, obviously, right? We want to be looking professional. We want to show up and have these events looking very tight and professional and clean so that we can, you know, get that brand across. That's really important. But Isagenix Corporate has stepped in and said that they are going to send us a little bit of a chunk of change to cover a little bit of your venue. So I can't speak fully on that right now, but just know that you guys have backing and support from head office, okay? So I want that to be a bit of a relief to know that whether you have 100 people show up for your 300 book room, you're gonna have support to be able to cover the cost of that in a positive way. This number is going to be the same for everyone across the board. So that pretty much wipes out anybody going from here and going, oh, I'll just go book the Hilton, you know? We want to obviously, unless that's in your budget and you're expecting 800 people at your event, that's great. Just remember that you are going to have some support, but keep that mindfully and you know, keep that in check just as far as your spending goes if you can. Obviously that is in your hands and I don't want to dictate to you guys what this looks like. Like I said, this event is going to be something that we really want to bring unity for Canada. We want to bring a one unity, a one team. We want to bring everyone together so that we are operating as one big family, because honestly, I've been in Australia and New Zealand and we have a huge unity force down there. Okay. We get together in the room and we're like, yeah, like we're together and we support each other. And I really, you know, for me, I've not been in Canada, so I can't say how it is here, but that's definitely one of the messages that keeps coming up from all the speakers, the leaders, the hosts that I've been talking to. This one team mentality is really coming up and to work together as a team. So with all that being said, I just want to open up the floor. I am going to fill you guys in on some more information and details. And remember, I am sending you guys after this call, I am sending you a full email with all the logistics and everything down there so that this is going to be easy. I should touch on one more thing before I open up the floor for, you know, questions and stuff, is that Isagenix is also going to be providing every single venue with a full weight loss value pack, a full essential line, and a full diffuser to give away as prizes on stage. You will also have all the product you need for all welcoming your guests to the door. So every single person that comes to the door, you're going to be able to give product out as they come through. It's all provided by head office. On top of that, this is really important to note down, that the person that brings the most people to the event is going to win two free tickets to either ISA Uni, which would be in Australia, in Toronto, or University in Action. I think I've got those mixed around. I think it's ISA Uni in Vancouver and University in Action in Toronto. But either way, you guys will have that to give away. Yeah, it's the other way around, Jen. So either way, you'll have that to give away to the people that bring the most people to your events. Now, here's what we're going to be doing is Isagenix, because this is registered under AR, they are tracking all of our numbers. So they're going to be able to see 2 weeks out. We have to have our numbers into head office by the 31st of this month to be able to tell them how much product we need so we can get our product pack sent out to us. That's why I asked and requested all of your emails, or your emails and your home addresses, because all of that product is going to be sent to you for these events prior. So you have everything you need all set up and you're going to have your kits. I'm also going to talk to head office about giving us some kind of graphics to be able to have on the side of the stage, like an IsaBody poster that we can bring with us in the trailer, because as you guys, most of you guys know, we are hauling a trailer, which I'm calling from right now, across Canada from all the locations, except we're not going to Toronto or Halifax because we're not chitty chitty bang bang. So I will most likely get one of you guys that is in Toronto and Halifax, your own set of you know, stuff to be able to have at your event, so that we don't have to put that on Gabby to haul onto the airplane and deal with checking and all of that crazy stuff. So you guys are going to definitely have the support. Another thing is I can't say this for sure, but I am looking into Isagenix Corporate backing us for doing a rally for the person who gets the most people to the all events across the Canada. So this might look possibly, I cannot throw anything out there for sure, but I am trying to get tickets, two flights to be able to fly to Nashville. So that is another option as a rally. It's not huge, but it is something for an incentive. And that would be really big for flying maybe your executive on your team to be able to go down to Nashville or something like that. It will just give you another incentive for getting your team to the events. And I mean, who doesn't love incentives? And it works really well, especially with competitions, you know? So that being said, we have a breakdown of how we would like this to go. Okay, so I'm gonna open up the floor a little bit on discussion on this. I'm not set in stone, but the way that I want to break this down is because we only have 2 hours. What I've got down for time frame is a 5-minute welcome message in the beginning. We are thinking of using the Isagenix Advantage video. That's the 6-minute version, not the 11-minute version. And that's the new one that's come from head office in Arizona. So that's the nutritionalist who's going through everything. She discusses the product. She discusses the issues with toxicity. She discusses all of the formulations. So what I want to focus on these events is I don't want to have like an hour slot where we're talking about product, okay? I want to have 20-minute slots for 3 of your speakers to be able to go through what is really, really important about how we can impact people in their home cities and in their nations and all of that. So after the 6-minute video, we're going to do a crowd engagement. So remember, you guys have a full weight loss value pack and a free line of essentials and a diffuser to give away. So we can't just like throw it at the crowd. We need to actually engage the crowd, and that's really, really important. So go out and say, you know, I want to talk to somebody after watching that video. You know, what are you excited the most? The first person to stand up, you know, and we're also going to target people that have not been there for the first time. So we'll have everyone raise their hands. Who is it? Whose first time is it here, right? The next person, keep your hands up. Who's going to stand up and say, you know, this is what I'm looking for. Great. Let's give them a canister of shake. Let's give them a full line of essential oils. Like that's $300 worth of product right there, you guys. So what I want to do is I want to be constantly engaging the crowd with this. Okay. We need to be able to make sure that it's not, we're up on stage, we're these shiny people, right? This is about unity and all being together and engaging with the person that works at the mill, that works at the mine, that works at a cafe. You know, these people are just as important as we are, and we need to make them feel that way, I believe. So after the crowd engagement, the 20-minute speaker slot will be there, and that will be like your first speaker. The second one is going to be a 7-minute slot where you have either your IsaBody champion, which is going to be at the Kelowna event. Lucky Jen and Kim for having her. She can only make one event, and she's going to be at there, so they're super blessed. But she's going to have a 5-minute slot to talk about the IsaBody challenge. Now, each one of you guys that are at your event across Canada, I want you guys to find somebody that is very confident in talking about IsaBody. That would be a great leader. That would be somebody that can interview 4 other people for 4 30-second stories, okay? We don't have a lot of time at these events, but I want people to see real human beings sharing their story. And obviously, we need to make sure that these 30-second stories are 30-second stories, okay? That's really important. I don't know if you guys have ever hosted a Zoom call and the person talks for 20 minutes and you can't get a word in edgewise, right? So they need to be really quick and to the point, but powerful. So we'll try to get those 30-second stories submitted to the person who's going to be interviewing them, as well as have a little meeting with that person. I did mine today, which was great. I have a guy who's lost over 90 pounds, and he's going to be interviewing people that we have in our hometown here that have had great results. So, you know, that's awesome. So after that 7-minute slot, so that's 5 minutes for your person that's sharing their story and talking about IsaBody, and then 2 minutes for those 4 30-second stories, okay? Then we've got more crowd engagement, right? We want to reach out to the crowd, like, you know, talk to people, hand out more free product, and you get 2 minutes for these crowd engagements. 20 minutes for their second speaker. Then we've got another 2-minute slot for crowd engagements. We want to have people feeding back about what they like. One person put their hand up. What was the most exciting thing that you loved, right? We're going to be directing all the new people to talk about what they love the most. So we're shifting the focus in every single meeting to what do they love the most. Then we're going to have our third speaker for the last 20-minute slot. And then we have our 2-minute crowd engagement again, what they love the most. And then we're going to do our start video. So we have a start video that we made in New Zealand. It's 2 minutes long. And what it does is I'm going to be sending this in the press package for you guys so you can see like the full layout of this whole thing. Then you can pick your speakers to go in there and you can arrange them. So this one is going to be talking about the vision of what Start Your Life is. living on the, living out your life, traveling the world, living with friends, sharing houses, bringing in community, having that one group, one nation, one kind of mentality. And then Gabby's going to get up and do a 25-minute slot, and she's going to close, and then we'll have a 2-minute slot to thank everybody for showing up. That is literally pretty much to the minute, 120 minutes, or 120 minutes, so 2 hours right there. Like, that's it. So that's the way I've lined it out so far, so that it's really, you don't have to think too much about how is this going to look and what are we going to do. It's just going to be like, here's the format. And then we just fill in all the little spots, and you guys don't have to worry so much about that. For me, I don't know, that's how I work. I really like to have, a set thing. What am I expected to do? What is this going to look like? Because we are coming up with kind of this fresh movement. I don't want people that are new, that are sitting in the crowd, to feel like, oh my gosh, this is way too much information for me. So if we have real people that are there for the first time with the focus on them, I think that's incredible. So the speakers that I'm thinking for this tour, I really want to focus on, obviously, the layout, which is, let me just grab this for a quick sec. So the layout for the time frame is going to be, the 3 main points, obviously, is the Isagenix presentation, which we're hoping to take that care of that in that 6-minute video. Then we're going to have health and education, wealth creation and development, and the action to call. So, or call to action, sorry. So what I'm thinking of doing here is, each one of you guys have on your heart somebody that you're like, this person would be great for speaking. This person is on, coming into my mind, right? For me, I talked to one person or 2 people, and both of them said, Erin Postal needs to speak at your event. So I got a hold of her this morning. We had a freaking incredible conversation that was so fired up. And she was sharing with me about, mindset, and actually being able to understand that we can't do anything if our mindset is standing in our way. So at our event, she's going to be talking about how to actually be able to come in and get commitment, understand commitment, like how important that is. Mindset, skill, and a game plan. So she's going to come in and she's going to sort of hit all those on the head, sharing her story, and she's going to do a little kind of like a self-development exercise, because she has a background in, I think, philosophy. No, not philosophy.
Psychology.
Psychology, thank you. Thanks, Jen. I can read your lips. So she's got a background in psychology, and she's going to do a little exercise. That exercise doesn't need to take 25 minutes, right? That exercise can take a 2-minute slot, but she's going to focus on why it's so important about commitment. Because if we can't get over ourselves, how are we going to retain any information about network marketing, right? So those are the kind of thoughts that are going through my mind as far as who of our speakers need to be there and how can they help the people that are hearing this for the first time. If we can't replicate this, then we're doing something wrong. This isn't about pumping each other's tires. Obviously, that's going to happen. This is about how can we impact the average person that is hearing this for the first time, but in a way that is practical and engaging them. And Gabby's obviously a firecracker. She's going to get up on stage. She's going to close every single event. So you guys don't need to worry about that 25-minute slot, who you're going to fill there. So you just need 3 speakers and your 4 30-second stories to pretty much fill this out. And obviously your host who loves to talk to people and engage the audience. That's really important, is engaging the audience, making people feel welcome. And so I'm going to stop flapping my gums, and I would love to hear some feedback from you guys. If you guys want to unmute yourself and just share about some ideas, let's open up the floor for some conversation. Let's go first.
I'm just wondering if you could run the topics by me again, Trina, please.
Okay, so obviously, like I said, corporate is going to be stepping in and making all of our slides, okay? So they have taken on the flyers. They are also sending this all out across Canada to 64,000 people, okay? We are going to have an audience that is watching this tour. So the flyers are coming out per city. they're going to have Gabrielle Speaker as your international speaker. They're also going to be able to have on those, you're going to have 3 spots for your speakers to go in, their names. So what I need from you guys is as soon as you lock in your speakers, I can send that off to Sarah. Sarah's going to quickly like drop those images in from the professional headshots and their title and their rank, and they're going to send it back to me, and I'm going to forward that on to you so you guys can pop that on your team pages and start marketing the hell out of this tour. Okay, so the way that we're going to do this is we're hoping to drop the information tomorrow so that we can get people buying tickets now. Then we're going to hopefully, I need to talk to Sarah because I need to be able to get that back. So I have a meeting with Alexis on Tuesday about more logistics, but I'm going to hopefully get a hold of Sarah, see what their team has done. They've been working on this for about 3 or 4 days now. So we should be able to have something back to be able to actually do this. Now we're also going to have a flyer with every single event date on that flyer from Powell River all the way down to Fort McMurray where it's going to end. So you guys are going to have a full tour list for one flyer, and you're going to have per city for another flyer. So you might have teams all across Canada. You're going to be able to put that up in each team so they can share it with their team and actually have it really professional and coming from corporate. This is all going to be linked back to the Eventbrite, right, which we are already registered with ARE, so they already have that, and they can track all of our ticket sales and everything. So, and then on top of that, Kimmy and I are going to be working through the night for one last step, which is going to be our live social media page where we are going to be doing the lives from all the events. We're going to be doing the interviews for everybody, and we're going to be able to have any questions, answers, all that kind of stuff for that page, and you can send all of your teams to that media page. The way we're going to drop this out is hopefully we'll have everything ready to go for tomorrow, because I know that inviting is the most important thing. So yeah, that's it. That's it for me for right now.
Are you going to have the hosts as well on the poster?
No, the hosts won't be on the poster.
And so my other question is, I'm just making sure I heard you right. 7 minutes for the IsaBody story and 2 more 30-second stories?
So that would be 5 minutes. That 7 minutes will be made up of a 5-minute talk from the IsaBody champion or the person representing IsaBody at your event. So obviously for me, we can't have Shara come because she can't make it, which is, you know, totally realistic. She's got things to do. So for me, I've got a person sharing for 5 minutes and then 4 30-second stories.
I just think it's a lot. That's really tight for time, but okay.
Yeah, it is tight, but I'm hoping that the crowd engagement can take you maybe a minute. You know, it doesn't need to take 2 minutes or 5 minutes, right? So there's a lot of slotted times, and guess what? If you guys are running short on time and you're looking at the way this is rolling out, then you guys can get creative and at the end have people do a bull rush to the stage. That we did that at ICUni at David Wood event when we had, you know, not enough time. Everyone ran up to the stage and just ended up grabbing products. Obviously, that's not my ideal thing, right? If we've got incredible products, we want to be able to make them feel special that they're winning them. So, you know, that's the thing is that there's a lot of crowd engagement that is entered in here for 2 reasons. One is to have a little bit of a buffer for time, and the other reason is to be able to talk to people. So if you are finding that at your event, you are wanting to have less speakers for 1 or 2 reasons, you know, then maybe we can give them 25-minute slots and give you a little bit more time in between. But this is supposed to be a really kind of quick and punchy event. We really want this to be impactful, and we want them to not talk forever on something that is taking up a lot of space. So
I just think in that 7-minute slot, you're going to have to really prepare your people to have a 30-second story.
Yeah, and that's what, yeah.
And this is what, and from my experience, is even if you tell someone to tell a 30-second story, they get up on stage, it's going to be a minute. It's going to be. So just know that segment when you're preparing your speakers.
Yeah.
Make sure you really worked on their 30-second story.
Absolutely. And that's what I said is like two weeks beforehand, that person that is going to be on that stage that is going to be doing the interview needs to have the 30-second stories in there, and they need to be rehearsed. You know, like every single event that we've gone to, when we have IsaBody standing up and they're doing that, people have a rehearsed skit. And the reason is that we're teaching people how to tell a 30-second story. So that's why we're choosing people that actually have experience sharing their story and can be confident enough to do that in a time frame that is practical. You know, we don't want people saying, here's your 30-second story, and then they chat for 5 minutes, you know, because that can happen. But if we prep people beforehand, then we're teaching people how to actually share it properly, which is kind of killing two birds with one stone. So, yeah, Tanis, how are you doing there, hon?
Good. Finally, we just had a lot of. We're getting ready for Arizona. Let's just say that.
Okay, cool.
Tomorrow.
Okay, great.
I'm excited. Wow, so much great things coming from this.
Yeah, it's definitely an earful in one meaning. I know that it's a lot, but I definitely know that this is coming together really quickly, and we have so much support. Like every single event, every single leader that has stepped up, I think we had all the leaders covered across Canada in 45 minutes of posting that tour. Like that is, and it wasn't just one. We had like people fighting for who was going to host. It was crazy. Like everyone was like, I want to host. And I was like, okay, well, let me think about this for a second and see who we can actually use that are going to make the most impact in their cities. And so, this is really exciting that, we also have speakers that are stepping up like crazy. So if you guys have any issues with finding speakers for your city, I'm sure you're probably very well connected and way more than me. It's just for my experiences is that it might not be me that knows how to connect them. It might be somebody that I've just been, introduced to. So if I can help out in any way, or if you guys need help setting anything up, just message me, because it might not be me, but it might be somebody that, like Alexis, giving them a call and saying, hey, can you come to this event, if you don't know them or you're nervous to ask or whatever. But it should be good across the way. Now, as far as slides go, I'm going to have this set up for you guys. So it's literally, really, really professional, because corporate is doing the slides for us. They're going to look really, really nice, and they're going to be really streamlined to this. So, Kimmy, did you want to say something?
Yeah, did you see Logan's message there? She was just wondering, do we have to have our speakers tied in by tomorrow? And when you say speakers, are you talking about big speakers or the 30-second people, just so that there's
the big ones
around that?
The big ones. If you guys can have a good idea in the next few days here, I'd really like to get those flyers done. I want to get those out to you immediately, and pretty much the only thing holding that back is the design team that are just waiting for us, pretty much. So I've got pretty much all I have across the board for the rest of it handled for you guys, like the Eventbrite and everything is done. If you guys are concerned about anything with somebody else registering your event, please let me know privately after this, and I can fill you in on why you're looked after and why, the money side of things is all going to be tied to your accounts. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. And as far as speakers go, like I said, if you can get that sooner than later, that would be fantastic. I know it's really tricky. We're kind of working backwards here without having the slides first and knowing what this is going to look like, and then being able to actually call our speakers and ask who we need to fill these in. But like I said, just try to use your intuition on this one, and just think, if I had 3 people who I could have speak in 20 minutes and have something impactful to say, what would I want them to say, and who would it be? And I'm sure.
And they don't have to be start.
No, they could be anybody.
Okay.
Anybody.
Okay.
Like some of the people that are hosting, half the people that are hosting this whole tour are not Start Age. This is for everyone. Okay, we're using the Start logo because we are trying to brand in Canada, and that's part of why we're stopping in Banff when we're doing that street tour. That's going to be a really big part about the branding of the Start name and the branding of the Start tour, and with the trailer and everything that's going to be wrapped with that. But it also, Start is part of Isagenix, and Isagenix is everyone. So we have to be really mindful of that. So Tanis, do you want to go over a couple of your topics that you're thinking for your event? I just want to kind of throw some ideas around and talk about topics.
So I do have my speakers. It's going to be myself. It's going to be I'm looking for a host. My sister's going to be sharing. One of her topics would be, how she built her business from Slovakia in 7 months. And then I have Mark Clausen speaking, who's going to talk about why network marketing.
Okay.
And then for me, I'm going to share my story and talk about the why. Then I have a little exercise on that too.
Okay. So those are pretty much like for my speakers, I've got Sean Owens, who's going to be speaking about marketing and actually how to the nuts and bolts of this. So when I've got somebody talking about that, I really want people to actually think about this talking to somebody who's never seen what network marketing is ever in their life. So we don't want to be coming across necessarily in so corporate mind and corporate lingo that people are like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't get it. I want this to be like super practical, but in a way that's very impactful, like practical, but the nuts and bolts of it. Like, what does residual income look like? And how does that actually practically help me? Like those kind of things. And what does time freedom look like? Like, what kind of options does that give me? Yeah, Kimmy?
Yeah, so I think that it's just really important to talk a little bit about what we talked about earlier. Like, the way that you've got the event lined up for Powell River is exactly how we're going to follow right across Canada. So the first speaker is going to talk about mindset and commitment and what that takes in order to build something. We want to, at these events, you guys paint a picture for people that they can say, like, oh my gosh, you guys are doing this, we can do this too. All we have to join you guys, and you're going to take care of us and show us how to do this as we come in. One of the main things that we were talking about too was booking events from events, right? So making sure that, like, all we really want to do is juice people up, like, and love on them so hard so that they can get their events going, because we want to really fire up everybody's business, not just have the event be the thing, but all the stuff that's going to come from the event.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really good point, Kimmy, is that we really want to come alongside and talk about events as well, and the importance of events. But I think that time could be at the end of one of the speaker segments. So really, like, not getting so crazy into it being like events, because those people have never been to an event except the one they're sitting in, right? But we also want to make them feel like that crowd engagement in the speaking is that, how can these people actually help me? If I join this, am I actually going to have the support? Am I going to feel like part of the family, or am I going to feel like the black sheep in the family, or the aunt that never gets talked to? You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's a really, really good point. As well as the commitment part, which Erin is going to be talking about and doing those exercises, that's going to follow the business side of things, because I want people to see what the business is, and then I want her to talk about, are you actually prepared to lose the weight? Are you actually prepared to make a commitment, right? Because they don't know what they're committing to if we've not explained that first. So we're going to have her about mid-segment, and then we're going to have somebody that comes in and talks about the why. So then Tanis, you've got a really good point there about, if we don't have a why, then how do we have a commitment? So I think that the why could be, I don't know the order. What do you guys think as far as the order? Do you think that it should be why, and then network marketing, and then the commitment side, and then Gabby close with the whole fire up thing? Or what are you guys thinking? I really like to open the floor and just sort of hear what everybody's got going on.
So with the question about the mindset, I don't think that we have, I'll talk about the why, maybe at the beginning and go first, but are we all have to have something across the board to talk about the mindset? Because I don't think I could be like Erin Postel.
No, not necessarily. But that one is going to be definitely a recording. And I don't want you guys to feel like you have to fit into the mold that, like, the thing I love about this is each one of you as hosts are chosen for a reason. Okay. Each one of you guys have been chosen because you have something to say, and you have a discernment within each one of you that is natural and should be listened to. And that's why I've given you the reins to pick the speakers, because you know what needs to be said in those meetings. Yeah. However, we do have to have some kind of order, so it's not like, whoa, what happened at that event?
Well, personally, I think if you've chosen your speakers, do a call with your speakers. Yeah. And let the speakers decide what they want to speak on, and then choose the order.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, the people who have chosen to speak have done this before. They're going to know what they're doing. They've been asked to speak for a reason. So I would really just do a call with them and let them decide what the topic's going to be, and then together you can decide what's going to be the best order.
Jen, that's perfect. And that's
Awesome.
actually what
Thank
happened with me this morning. Because to be honest, you guys, like, I'm new at this. Like I said, I'm no expert. I've never put on a start event. I've only gone to events. But what happened with me and Erin this morning, I was so nervous to get on the phone with her because I was like, first of all, I don't even know who this person is.
Oh, she's
And
so
guess
good.
what happened is instead of me just calling and trying to act like I knew what was going on, I just let her speak to me. And because of that organicness of that, like Jen said, it just came out and I was like, holy, like the guy that was listening was like, I'm hot. Like he got so fired up just listening to the two of us go back and forth. And it was so exciting. And that's what I'm looking for on this tour.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
these that are speaking are going to know what's pertinent or what's really important.
They're going to have their finger on the pulse.
They're going to know what's really great to talk
Okay,
about.
great. So I really want to give you guys the discernment, and that's why this call is happening, is that you guys can take the discernment, figure out which order you want to do it. And I'm excited to come to your events. Like I'm pumped to come to every event and be like, what did they arrange? I don't want to know all the details. I want to be excited, and I trust you guys, right? I
I'm
think it's
excited.
going to be amazing. I think it's going to be so exciting. And if I'm this excited and I'm hosting this thing, how many people out there are going to be like, oh my gosh, I need to get to that event. Like this is going to be amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Mike, Vanessa, absolutely. Girl, I'll talk to you another time, and thanks for jumping on the call. I think she's already gone, actually.
Trina and Kimmy, I just want to give you guys the kudos for taking the reins on this, and really it's a lot of work. And Trina, I didn't realize how new you were, and I just want to say, wow, like this is such a great learning for you guys, and I'm so proud of you for having the courage to take it on. And putting all the work and effort, so it'll definitely reap the benefits. So I just want to say,
thanks,
Jen.
Thank you so much. Honestly, like this is just such a blessing for me. Yeah, it does take a bit of organization, but honestly, I couldn't do any of this if I didn't have the fire and you guys and the leadership that has stepped up and corporate that got a hold of this, and everyone is just. I have never planned an event like this. I do fashion design, so for me, it's kind of similar in a way that you have to have clothes on your people, you have to have models, you have to have the venue, you have to have all the lights, you have to have somebody organizing it all. That's what my background is, right? So it kind of is an event planning, but in a sense that I have never had the photographer, all the models, all the stage people come to me and say, what can we do? So this is literally, for me, it's a shocker because I didn't expect it to be so much people jumping in, and that's why I want to have that one unity message coming across, because that's my first impression of what is going on in Canada, and I want to celebrate that through these events. So I know that some of you guys are probably in a time zone where it's getting super late, and I want to honor your time and thank you all for showing up tonight. Is there any gaps or any questions that I can answer? Like I said, I do have a full email package with a lot of information for you guys to send out. And Kimmy and I are going to work our little tails off to make sure this media page looks tight so that we can just have all of your people jump on and buy their tickets. So what I'm going to do for you guys tonight is I'm going to send you an email with all of the links for your event. So your Eventbrite tickets, all of that kind of stuff. It's all set up with your speaker, Gabrielle Dean, your host, all of that kind of stuff for each event. Kimmy's taken the time to really put the bios in for you guys, so it looks really, really nice and laid out, and all of your people have to do is literally click on it. Yeah, Kim?
So when you guys get your speakers confirmed, and if you can send that to me with the bios, then I can update your Eventbrite ticket. So right now it's got Gabrielle Dean's on there. The Kelowna one's got Shara Harris. So we'll be adding photos and everything like that. Originally, when we posted it, we kind of thought that we were just going to send you a template and then you'd be able to go in and edit it. But now, because of the way we've had to do the tickets to get it all in, I'm going to have to update that stuff for you guys as we go. So if you've got any questions about anything like that, then just let me know and we can take screenshots and send it all to you.
30-second story people too. It's just the one 5 minutes.
I don't think so. I think that it would just be great. Like when I saw the ones from the other events that we've done from like NYKO or any of the other universities and actions or whatever, we've just had the main keynote speakers. Yeah. And perfect. The other ones can come. And normally we would do the host.
Chosen last minute, right? Someone might have just been brand new, had a great experience, and you'd be like, this is a perfect time for you to share your story and work with them and practice their 30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I chose that, because for me, my first event, I had to learn my 30-second story, and I had to host a call that night on my first time. So that for me was such a big thing in how to build my business. And that's why I really wanted to have your people in each city being able to practice that and be prepared. So on top of that, let me just see here. Yeah, so on top of that, like each event, we also want to make sure that we have somebody doing the music, right? Doing the sound for you guys and doing any lighting. So we want this to obviously be like, if you guys have ever been to obviously you guys have been to an event, but usually in Australia, we have about a 30-minute cardio session before every event starts. We have music going, everybody's up on the stage dancing before the performance, jumping around, really fired up. And every speaker that comes on has their own walkout song. Okay, so like Uptown, Funk You Up, that kind of stuff, they usually have their walkout song. So that would be things that you want to ask your speakers. What walkout song do you want? You know, and then use a pump up thing so that if people are handing out products or something when they're coming in the door, you want to have all your volunteers at the door welcoming people, handing out products, giving high fives. Like that is the environment that we got taught in Australia that was so welcoming to me. I was like, holy smokes, like I've never, you know, I go to church and I don't get welcomed this well. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to have people feel super welcome when they're coming through the door, that pump up music and just, you know, getting people fired up. So maybe think about having somebody that's doing the lighting. Think about having somebody that's, you know, experienced enough to not just run an iPod. For my event in Powell River, I'm going to be hiring a professional sound person so that they can sit at the back, they can see everything from the room, and they can have everything on key so it doesn't sound really unprofessional when the person's like walking across the stage and then their song comes on. It's like, you know what I mean? Just little things like that that go a long way. So yeah, I think that's
Awesome.
I think that's everything. I hope everyone any other questions or anything that comes up, or just let me know or private message me or whatever. I'm here for you guys. Want to support you 100%. If you have anything you want me to take to corporate, I have a meeting with Alexis on Tuesday. So just try to get that information to me before if you have questions. And I will get all that information to you guys back as a team, as a group. We'll go in our host only. So I had to create another chat. I'm sorry. I'm not normally one of those creating chat monsters that have like 5 billion chats. But what was happening is that new people were being added into our leaders only chat that were like speakers. And so the host is just for us so that we don't have a lot of chatter in that group. I just want to respect your time. I know that everyone's building their business and that we need to focus our time on getting our people and our teams trained up to take people to these events. Oh, that reminds me. So last thing, on the social media page that Kimmy and I are setting up, the first live interview is going to be with Gabby. So I will let you guys know when that's going to happen. I'll give you guys a heads up so that your team can jump onto the live and see how Gabby is, see what she's fired up about, like coming to Canada. And then the second one we're doing is with Erin, and Erin Postal and I are going to do a training on how to invite people to events. So if you have any of your new people that don't really know what to say, make sure they jump on that and we'll help them out. And it's going to be all a place for everybody to jump on who's part of this tour, because we really want to teach as we go. And I think that live thing, I don't want to like promise anything, but I think those live segments are going to be something that we keep on a daily basis as leaders, as people. And I want to open up to you guys. If you guys want to host, you know, your guest on there, I think that would be fantastic that each one of us do a little bit of a live with our guest on that call, ramping up to the thing so that, you know, everybody's getting excited about your event and get a little taste about it. Yeah, absolutely, Jen. Thank you so much, hun. She was just having to get to go. So, okay, you guys. Well, thank you again for jumping on the call tonight. And I just want to say I'm so excited and I'm here to help you guys. And I'm just so grateful that this is all going on. And if I can help in any way, or if Kimmy can help in any way, just message me and I can get a hold of her or message her or just put it in the host chat and we'll go from there. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hey, no worries.
Thanks, guys.
Cool to meet you guys.
Good night.
Good night. We'll see you. Bye.
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 Everyone, good night.